Okay, let's talk a little bit about the syllabus, some details of this course, and some of the policies that I expect you to follow over the course of this semester. To get to the syllabus, there's a link up above in the main course website. From this page, you can also click one of these syllabus links, and it'll actually open it up in a separate window. I expect you to read every word of the syllabus and understand the course policies and details of how the course will be delivered to you over this semester. We're going to go over a couple high-level points right now. First off, I've already gone over the course overview with you a couple of times. Essentially, I want to teach you how to code so that you can use it as a tool and technique in your creative arsenal. Coding is critical to the art of the future and the economy of the future, including the art and the economy of the now. It's time to learn it. It's going to be fun. I am Dr. Michael Music. I'm the one who built this course and am responsible for the primary delivery of the course. This semester, I will have a teaching assistant who will serve as the primary instructor and 2 lab assistants that will help them out. Their contact information is listed on the syllabus. You can also read more about them in the instructor tab up above. On the syllabus, there's a couple of links hard-coded so that they exist in case you ever want to download this document, including a link to this course website, a link to the GitHub repo, which is where all of your code examples will live, as well as the issues forum where you can post for help, a direct link to the course Moodle shell, and a direct link to this syllabus. A couple of things about this course are the requirements that you're going to have to give up, such as time. This course is going to take a decent amount of time. I would plan on 3 to 9 hours of work a week in addition to the actual time it takes you to read and watch the weekly videos. Creativity. I expect you to be creative in your weekly assignments and final project. Go beyond the spec of each homework assignment and take this as an opportunity to really explore the creative potentials of code. Finally, cleanliness and organization. Please be organized. Please be clean in all of your documents, your code, and any other supporting materials. It's going to make it easier on you. It's going to make it easier on us. I will help you throughout this course about what that means. Here's a list of some technology and tools that we'll use over the course of the semester. We're going to go over each of these in great detail next week so that for week 3, when we start to code, you are prepared with your computer being set up for a development environment that's going to be successful for you. There is one required book, Getting Started with P5JS by Lauren McCarthy, Casey Reese, and Ben Fry. I will have a number of assigned readings outside of this book that give you a different viewpoint to learning to code and using code for a creative tool than how I will be delivering it over the course of this semester. If you click this link, it'll actually come to the P5 website, and there are 2 links for how you can get this book. You can check both of them and see which is cheaper at the time. Finally, there's a couple of optional books. One is called Learning Processing, and this is another angle on learning to code and use code as a creative tool. It is written for a different language, one called Processing, but Processing and the language we're going to use, P5JS, are closely related. You can almost consider them siblings of each other. They are a little bit different, but this book is something that might be useful to you if you're looking for an additional angle on how to code. All of your homework assignments this year are going to be submitted as web pages. We're going to teach you how to do that over the course of the next couple of weeks. You won't have to do much with HTML and CSS, but a little bit. And if you want to have a better understanding of those 2 supporting languages, there's a book I highly recommend called the HTML and CSS book. This book is actually required for mart120 web development. So if you are a BFA in the digital art and technology track of media arts, you might consider picking this book up now because you will have to buy it anyway for a later course. Finally, if you were a Linux or Mac OS user, I would suggest you download and read this free PDF book, Unix for the Beginning Mage. It's going to teach you a little bit about your computer and things you didn't even know about your computer. I, in fact, am going to have Mac users read this later in this week. For Windows users, there's not an equivalent, and you're going to have to watch some videos which are interesting on PowerShell. Finally, here's some links to some additional video websites with content on creative coding. as well as some forums and places where you can look for additional help in this throughout this semester. Okay, some policies of this course. You are primarily going to be assessed and evaluated through three means. Weekly homework assignments, which are going to include coding as well as a weekly written report about your progress over the week. A final project, which I will release details for with 4 or 5 weeks left in the semester. And class participation, which is going to include posting problems that you have and responding to your colleagues and classmates' own problems via something called the GitHub Issues Forum, which we'll talk more about later this week. You also are expected to give feedback to your classmates' weekly homework assignments so that you're aware of what's going on in this community of this Creative Coding 1 class. There's some additional information on your homework that I expect you to read in this syllabus. There's some information on what participation means and a little bit of information on the final project. Please note that the final project is required, and failure to complete a final project will result in a failing grade for the course this semester. Your grade will be computed according to the following percentage totals. Regular assignments will be worth 75% of your final grade. Your final project will be worth 15% of your final grade, and participation will be worth 10% of your final grade. Here is the grade breakdown according to how I look at it. Here's a little bit of information about how I will grade your weekly assignments if you're concerned about the kinds of grades you're getting. I will not accept plagiarism or cheating in this course. If I find out or catch you cheating or doing something that's unethical, you will fail that homework assignment and may be in danger of greater disciplinary action, including failing the course or being reported to the university. That being said, you are going to want to Google and look for other people's approaches to solving the problems that I give you over the course of this semester. You're going to want to include other people's code once in a while or media that you find online. This is okay to an extent, although obviously the majority of your work should be yours. Once we get going in the semester, I encourage you to Google furiously all the time about the problems we are addressing and look for how people have solved those problems. Incorporate their solutions into your own solution. If you use code found elsewhere, make sure that you cite where that code came from and why you're using it and when you got it. Additionally, you're going to be expected to comment every line of that code so that I know you know how it's being used. Additionally, if you use found media online, you are responsible to ensure it is used according to fair use guidelines. If you do not know the various types of fair use licenses, you can read about them in these links right here. Finally, if you have a disability, please make sure you have registered with Disability Services for Students and let me know about that. And lastly, I reserve the right to change the intended content of this course throughout the semester. This may be done to adjust for the speed of the class, to better meet educational goals, or to account for changes in technology. I do not intend to change the course, but sometimes certain things require it. I just want to make sure that that's a possibility. With that being said, let's get back to this week's content and move on to what this course will be like.